action.
And now we're going to ask a couple of questions of General Manager of Professional Products position of L'Oreal Ukraine, Mr.Mark Savchuk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, thank you for finding time on our interview.
No problem.
Well, L'Oreal is a world market leader with 100-year experience in cosmetics business. Having headquarters in Paris, it operates in more than 120 countries worldwide, including Ukraine.
Yes.
So, tell us please, what's the interior job structure? Was it created as common equal worldwide or specially adapted to Ukraine?
Good question. So, at L'Oreal, we are a global company, even though we have a French heritage. Okay, the company is 100 years old as of last year. It was founded in France, and right now, more and more, our sales are being done in what's called emerging markets, for example, like China and Brazil, and those are the fast growth countries. Excuse me. Now, the key for us, and one of our slogans is think globally, but act locally. So, if you're going to think like a worldwide leader, we have certain things that we export from France. We have our brands, we have our spokespeople, we have obviously our products, okay, we have our way of working, but then it's up to the people in the countries, like me for example, to find the perfect staff structures that work well for the particular country. Okay? And then you can also think of the company in two ways. You have people working what's called in the international aspect, which these are people who are doing product development, research and development, they could be doing the advertising, the image, this kind of stuff, and they export this all over the world, and then we, the people who are operational in the countries, we take this and then make sure that it reaches our customers in the local markets.
All right, thank you. Then next question, who makes the job schedule? Ukrainian office or itself or the owners of the company?
The owners of the company are the shareholders actually. So if you want to buy a share of L'Oreal, you can. You just call up your stockbroker and you say, I want to buy one share of L'Oreal. It costs around 80 euros, for example, and you become an owner of the company. So the owners are the shareholders, and they expect a return on investment. They expect to be paid a dividend. They expect that the stock price is going up. Now, in order to do this, there's a board of directors, and then there are the management. So we have a chief executive officer, then he has his operational people, he also has his strategic people, and then they pass down the rules and the job descriptions and this kind of thing to us, but then we react what's necessary for Ukraine. We adapt based on their strategies, their ideas, and their priorities, and then we have to execute here in Ukraine.
Of course, okay. So there are sales. So how do you decide what percentage of the turnover is going on expenses, job rewards, insurances, bonuses?
Good question. Okay. First of all, we don't look at people as an expense. We look at people as an investment and an asset. Okay, that's a big difference. Okay, and if you ask me what is the percent of our turnover that goes into human resources, one, I won't tell you because it's a secret. Okay, and two, I don't look at people as an expense. I look at it as as people who are going to serve the customer. Okay, so we build our staff structures not by having a budget and then filling the holes. What we do is we say, what kind of customers do we have? What do they expect? What channels are they in? And then we build the sales force structure and the marketing structure around the needs of the customers. So when we started off, for example, I had maybe 300 points of sale, 300 salons in our business. So obviously to service 300 salons, you need less people than you do when you have 3,000 salons. So based on the points of sale, based on the size of the business, we put the people.
All right, thank you.
And then the sales come, and then obviously we have to compensate, but we don't look at it as an expense.
And how do you calculate the efficiency in relation to expenses and personnel? So efficiency in economic sense.
Well, obviously you have benchmarks. Okay, so we look at other companies, we look at our competition, what they're doing, and we always want to stay ahead. Okay, so the efficiencies are, for us, for example, if we're talking about the hairdressing business, we know that when a salesperson comes into the point of sale, the size of the order will be bigger than if we just place an order by the telephone, or if the salon calls our customer service asking for products. So we know that the salesperson has a value added, and we expect the salesperson to do a number of visits per day. We expect that every time there's a visit, we hope that there's an order, because if they're doing visits but no orders, it's called tourism. Okay? And we don't do tourism, we do sales. So we look at those kind of benchmarks. We have what's called key performance indicators, KPIs, and then we measure against other salespeople, for example. So we take the best salesperson in Ukraine and we say that's as good as it gets, and then we compare everybody else to the best one. Okay? So if they're not doing a certain number of visits per day,